Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing today? I hope you are well. I'm on a sort of a holiday today. I'm in Worcester, which is just over an hour outside of Cape Town. Many years ago, I sort of adopted uh, five young girls here in Worcester. Their grandmother was a friend of ours and she passed away. And they were little kids, literally knee high when we got to know them. And today, what, 15, 16 years later, they're all big. The eldest one is married. She just had a baby boy 2 weeks ago. The second eldest one is their cousin. She's teaching. Oh, sorry, the married one is an accountant. The cousin next door is a teacher at the college here in Worcester. The third eldest one is finishing her articles this year. She's going to be an attorney. The fourth eldest one qualified in hospitality. She's in Kuwait at the moment. She's on a 3-year contract in Kuwait. And the last one is still in high school. She's busy with homeschooling here in Worcester. So the one who's qualifying as an attorney this year, she's getting married next month. So I just completed the nikah arrangements. She's getting married at a masjid there by us in Cape Town. And she's marrying a boy from Joburg. So as soon as she's married, they'll be moving to Joburg. So they're doing quite well. They were never well off financially, so all their studies were paid for by by bursaries, and they were all fortunate enough to get bursaries from the same organization in Cape Town, and they studied at UWC and Stellenbosch University, and they did quite well for themselves. Um, so we here in Worcester, we're spending the weekend in Worcester, and we're taking the one that's getting married. We're taking her to Cape Town with us. They come to Cape Town quite often, and they come and sleep by us because she now wants to complete some final arrangements for the wedding that is happening right there around the corner from us, about 1 minute away. So the masjid is there, and the venue for the reception is also there. And so she's coming to make some final arrangements. They all come through and come sleep by us quite often. And we come here and we come and sleep. We obviously can't sleep at their place because there's no place to sleep. Um, they are actually two families. So it's four sisters in the one family, and then it's a sister and a brother in the other family. The boy is, of course, a lot more dependent. He's actually deaf, so it's very difficult for us to communicate with him. And he's very private, and he has never ever tagged along, even as a small boy. He was always more with his mother, and he actually graduated as well, but he's struggling to find a job. The job situation in South Africa is terrible, and especially being a male, it's even worse. And on top of it, he has a disability of not being able to hear. So, that makes his situation even more difficult. Um, the community here in Worcester is a very small community. Worcester being exactly 120 kilometers out of Cape Town. It's a little town. It's not a city, tiny town, and you can drive from one side of Worcester to the other side of Worcester within 60 seconds. There's one main road, In fact, Worcester still comes from the old days of apartheid. It used to be a typical Afrikaner town. And so there are two main roads. The one is the white main road, and the other one is the non white main road. And the layout basically is still like that. Um, of course, now in the new South Africa, you see a lot of foreigners all over the place. But basically, there's still a white main road and a non white main road. But of course, the schools have all become open, if I can use that word. So anybody and everybody is going to all the different schools. And by and large, the population, or when you look around you and you see people moving around, they a lot more mixed than they were before. Not mixed with one another, but groups of white people and then groups of colored people and groups of black people and so on. And there's a relatively tiny Muslim population, as is the case all over in South Africa. Muslims are in the minority by far. On average, in total, we are about 4% of the South African population. And a large part of that 4% is concentrated in Cape Town, because Cape Town being the mother city where everything started, and the Malay community, who are Muslim, came over with the Dutch, and that's why there are so many Muslims in Cape Town. Of course, with Dawah work, there's been a lot of reverts to Islam from the colored people, and a lot of the Indians moved to Cape Town from Durban and Joburg. So there is a substantial Indian community, not big. There are actually only two Indian suburbs from the old apartheid days in Cape Town where the Indians live, and most of them are Muslim. There are, of course, Hindu Indians here in Cape Town, quite a lot of them, but very, very small compared to the number of Indians that there are in Cape Town. In other parts of South Africa, in Joburg and in Durban especially, there's this strange phenomenon of Christian Indians, because of the British um, that time, and I suppose there's a lot of pressure on people nowadays to, I don't know whether it's Christian or whether it's just non-religious, but there's a lot of Indians who are becoming like that. They just love secular or whatever it is. I don't know. But you won't find that in Cape Town. I myself don't really know of any Indians who are living like that in Cape Town. But I know quite a few in Durban and in Johannesburg, where the majority of Indians are, in any case. So in Worcester, there are only two masjids. Um, One on the so-called non-white main road, and I've been to that masjid quite often, because I come to Worcester quite often. In fact, one of my cousins who's passed away now, he was married to a girl from Worcester, and she's been living in Cape Town ever since they were married. So even before I got to know these little girls, we used to come to Worcester, obviously for his wedding, and then we used to just come here, spend a weekend in Worcester because it's beautiful here. It's quiet. It's very peaceful. The people are a lot different. And this modern aggression and road rage and all those things that are going on in Cape Town, you don't find it here. It's completely absent. I mean, people here are totally unaware. The culture is different. Um, the language, which plays a huge role, is different. People here are Afrikaans speaking, and Afrikaans speakers tend to be more connected to religion. whereas English speakers are more about themselves and they're more about money and running after wealth, and that's where all the aggression and the apathy comes from. In fact, I wouldn't even call it apathy, I would call it antipathy. It's more feelings against one another. But let's not go there. I'm actually enjoying myself here in Worcester, as I always do. And so we're taking her back to Cape Town with us, and she'll be sleeping um, by us in Cape Town for a few nights to make final arrangements for her wedding. So I'll be enjoying the rest of the weekend here in Worcester. Assalamu alaikum.